Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. There are now growing concerns about Donald Trump's health, and his White House team in providing partial information about a recent imaging test is only adding to the questions. President Trump recently underwent an MRI exam but told reporters he didn't know what it was for. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt has now stepped forward with this statement.
As part of President Trump's comprehensive executive physical, advanced imaging was performed because men in his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health. The purpose of this imaging is preventative, to identify any issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure the president maintains long-term vitality and function. President Trump's cardiovascular imaging was perfectly normal. No evidence of arterial narrowing impairing blood flow or abnormalities in the heart or major vessels.
Trump's cardiovascular imaging was normal, and this examination was preventative. Independent medical doctors say that doesn't make sense.
Well, there really is no preventative cardiac MRI. This is not a standard test for an 80-year-old man to undergo advanced imaging. Boris, the whole note has kind of a weird and defensive, evasive tone to it. First of all, this is not part of the president's comprehensive physical examination. He had that in April, and then he underwent some more testing in July. If you look at his first administration, the president, like most presidents, only underwent one comprehensive physical exam every year. So this comes, completely off cycle. Second, it's filled with euphemisms. Again, Dr. Barbara Bello, the president's physician, states that he underwent advanced imaging. Well, what specific advanced imaging did the president have? Was it an MRI, as the president said? Was it a CT? Did he have both? Why not just spell it out?
The White House is not spelling it out or making the president's doctor available to answer these basic follow-up questions. Instead, all the public has is the Karoline Leavitt statement and her sing-song delivery about the president's recent medical exam.
Overall, his cardiovascular system shows excellent health. His abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal. All major organs appear very healthy and well perfused. Everything evaluated is functioning within normal limits with no acute or chronic concerns. In summary, this level of detailed assessment is standard for an executive physical at President Trump's age and confirms that he remains in excellent overall health.
You remember that movie about 25 years ago titled Miss Congeniality? Well, I keep thinking of the scene where the beauty pageant contestants are asked what matters most to them, and they respond, world peace, world peace, world peace. And then Sandra Bullock's beauty queen character, Gracie Hart, says, harsher punishment for parole violators. And amidst the audience silence, Hart then adds, and world peace, triggering thunderous applause. Anyway, in response to Karoline Leavitt's assertions that Donald Trump is in excellent health, and that his abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal, here again is Dr. Jonathan Reiner.
Abdominal imaging? Why would someone undergo preventative MRI imaging or CT imaging of the abdomen? This obviously was performed in response to some clinical concern, which is fine. Things happen to people as we all get older, and the president is almost 80. So instead of this kind of evasive, almost laughable kind of note, just spell out what happened. I hope the imaging is normal and great. That would be excellent news. But this kind of piece by piece, drip by drip release of information is disconcerting.
And speaking of disconcerting, just hours after this debate over Trump's physical condition, Trump raised new anxieties about his mental state of mind. Trump unleashed a frenetic late-night posting binge, flooding Truth Social with more than 160 posts in less than 5 hours. From 7 p.m. to midnight Eastern, Trump reposted an endless stream of clips amplifying MAGA-friendly pundits and right-wing conspiracy theories. The torrent swung between Trump nostalgia, including a Make Christmas Great Again video featuring Trump's cameo in Home Alone 2, and a string of attacks on his usual Democratic targets, including California Governor Gavin Newsom, Representative Nancy Pelosi, Representative Ilhan Omar, and former President Barack Obama. Trump also reposted an AI-generated video of Elon Musk discussing Trump's vow to revoke protections for Somali migrants. Then, 5.5 hours later, at 5:48 in the morning, Trump was at it again, proclaiming Truth Social is the best, there's nothing even close. The social media binge magnified Donald Trump's lack of impulse control, which is a sign of dementia. Other indicators of dementia and mental decline include forgetfulness, going off on verbal tangents, and outbursts of anger. Quiet, quiet, piggy! Remember that? By most accounts, Donald Trump is doing everything with increased frequency, all of the indicators, and there can be a physical component to mental decline. And that could include heart issues and decreased blood flow. And last spring, the Trump White House acknowledged issues with swelling in Trump's legs. To be fair, it's easy for all of us who are not treating Donald Trump to come up with catastrophic reasons for his behavior and for the White House's lack of candor. But that's why having the president's doctor come out, talk to the press, and answer questions would be helpful. But that's not happening. Instead, we have to rely on Karoline Leavitt and her assertions that Donald Trump is in excellent health. Many of us see Donald Trump looking sick, acting erratically, and increasingly appearing to be in physical and mental decline. And instead of tamping down concerns, the Trump White House, with its defensiveness, is only making things worse. You know what TYT has always been about? Taking on the corrupt, greedy establishment. For us, it's the corporate media. We've been fighting that fight for over 20 years. For the cell phone industry, it's the same story. A handful of massive corporations ripping you off. That's why we're partnering with Noble Mobile. They're the only wireless company with the same mission as ours, to fight back. Their No Bull plan offers unlimited data for just $50 per month. But here's the best part. For any data you don't use, you get cash back. Real money that you can spend however you want. Stop letting your unused data pad the pockets of billionaires. With Noble, you take control over your data. And by switching to Noble, you're directly supporting TYT and our mission of bringing you honest, independent news. So give Noble a try and make the switch today. Scan the QR code on the screen now or visit go.tyt.com/plan. That's go.tyt.com/plan. By the way, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is now being accused of war crimes by Democrats and Republicans.
When I was in officer training, one of the very first lessons we had was learning what is a legitimate target and what isn't, because we follow the law of armed conflict. And beyond that, there's a maritime law which governs even on top of what you saw with this boat strike. And so it is very clear that that second strike never should have happened. In fact, the military should have switched to a rescue pose and tried to rescue these men, because they are no longer combatants. In fact, now they're distressed sailors.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.